Hey, Stephanie. Hold on. I needed to actually come back on live. Um, Needed to actually come back on live to give you guys an update. I thought that I was done, y'all. God works that way. I thought that I was done. If you guys hear noise in the background, I am doing a little bit of multitasking. I'm doing a little bit of multitasking. I've learned. I feel like I need to share this. A lot of times, like for me, and I'm not freezing. Can you guys hear me okay? I will say too that I'm very thankful for this situation happening because it has given me the ability to like see just how far I've grown in the past when stress would come. I would totally, not eat, negate my diet, eat what I want to eat. And, I've just noticed that even in facing what I've had to face these past few days, um, it all boils down to a choice. I've chosen to not stray from what I know I need to do for me. And so I think that that is a revelation in itself because a lot of times when we're up against when we're going against extreme pressure, a lot of times our mindset, is to give ourselves a break. I pray that I'm making sense. A lot of times our mindset is to give ourselves a break. A lot of times our mindset is to put down our current responsibilities, but we all have a choice. We all have a choice to make when it revolves around enduring the struggle. And I think the greatest test of if you're really prepared for a next level, it lies in your ability, to keep moving even when you're under pressure to uphold your whatever your responsibilities are, whatever God has asked you to steward in this season, whatever God has asked you to do in this season. I pray that I'm making sense. A lot of times, you know, our faith is shown in that way. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? I don't see any comments. And so, I say all of that to say, even for those of you guys that are going through it, right? I'm sure your temptation is just like anyone's temptation to give yourself a break, to chill, right? Because you feel like you deserve to chill. You feel like you deserve to ask yourself, if me doing this thing was the and I knew it, what would I do? I'm gonna say that again. Like in moments where you feel like, looking over like your current responsibilities, and we can look over our current responsibilities in so many different ways. Sometimes we can just not do anything altogether. Sometimes when it revolves around, our responsibilities, we will have do our responsibilities. I'm gonna say it again. We will have do our responsibilities and look up at God like, like we doing our best, right? And so, today I want you guys to ask yourself the question, like, if this thing was standing, my current responsibilities were what was standing in between me and my miracle, me and what I'm believing God for, like, what would I be doing? Like, if this thing was the determining factor, how I handled my current responsibilities was the, determining factor for whether or not God was going to bless me, what would I be doing? I'm going to say that again. What would I be doing? Because I guarantee it, many people would be, you know, willingly and happily, doing whatever it is that you feel like, God is asking you to do. I guarantee you would have some joy. Excuse me, y'all. You would have some joy about, you know, doing the little things. Because a lot of times, sometimes the things that God asks us to do, they do feel insignificant. I ain't gonna lie, it does feel like busy work sometimes. We can be real, we can be honest. And so, again, the thing that we need to ask ourselves is, what would I be doing? How would my attitude be if I knew that this thing was standing in between me and what I'm asking God for? How would I be acting? It's like a job at a job, right? If you know that you're going to go up for like a promotion or or whatever the case may be, you automatically know that a determining factor for whether or not you get promoted is how you handle your current position. Give me a one if you get what I'm saying. Give me a one if you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna say that again. When you're applying for like a promotion on your job, what are they looking at? They are going to be looking at, hear me now, how you are performing on your current job. So my question to you right now is, how are you performing? Uh-oh. How are you? What's your performance looking like? I'm gonna say it again. What's your performance looking like right now? What is your performance looking like right now? Because a lot of times what we don't realize is that that in itself determines what God can do in our lives. I pray that I am making sense. That in itself determines if we are really ready for what God has for us. There are things that God has asked y'all to do, in this season of life. And no, I'm not talking about sowing. There are things for your own life that God has asked you to do in this season of life, right? There are things that He's asked of you to do. And some of y'all, if we can be real, you have not had the amount of joy that you should have in doing it. Some of y'all, I'm gonna be real, you know that, come on, I gotta tell the truth, shame the devil. Some of y'all, you know that you've been doing it just to say that you did it, but you ain't really been putting your all into it. Like, listen, you ain't really been putting your back into it like God wants you to. I pray that I'm making sense. You ain't really been doing it, to the standard that you could be doing it to. And because you have not been putting in much effort, right? Or the amount of effort that God can look at and say, okay, they're stewarding this well. You have been reaping what you sow. You've been getting what you put in. You come on, somebody. You want to give God, 10% of energy into doing what He asked you to do. Guess what? You're going to reap 10%. I pray that I'm making sense. So again, what is your performance looking like? What is it looking like? Just because we going through does not give us the excuse or the reason to like hold our current responsibilities. Just because we feel uncomfortable doesn't mean that we get to like negate our right now responsibilities. And so that is it. That was the last little bit of what God wanted me to share with you guys on this morning. And so it's like, what's your performance looking like? I was tempted, let me not eat. I don't want to eat. Not gonna do nothing. But then I thought about it. I'm like, God, no, I'm not gonna miss my meal. For what? Why would I do that? And so that is it, y'all. I love you guys. I am rooting for you guys. Right now, our goal is still at around 32. That's where our goal is right now. It's around $32. And that will Jesus, get us exactly we need. It doesn't matter if you are sowing $1. It does 15. It doesn't matter if you are sowing in pennies. That is our goal right now. And so that is it, you guys. I love you guys. I am rooting for you guys. And so until next time, y'all,